If you use Close CRM or you have been looking for an AI agent that can outbound dial your leads, that can set your appointments, that can triage or receive inbound calls, they just released a huge feature and it changes the way that Close CRM is actually used. And that feature is called Chloe. So Chloe is Close CRM's new AI agent that is native inside of their CRM, which is a beautiful thing. Yes, you have Go High Level. Yes, you have HubSpot. Yes, you have all of these other platforms, Vapi, for example, Planned AI. But the problem is none of them are native inside of the CRM and they do not work as well as Chloe does. So I'm going to give you guys a step-by-step tutorial today on how to set up Chloe, how to use it, and exactly what use cases us at RevPilot would implement Chloe for. So if you go to their main website right now, you can see we have a bunch of details about Chloe inside of here, okay? Now, obviously, one of the biggest problems inside of any sales organization is calls coming in after hours and us not actually being able to take those calls. The second is having too high of a volume and missing our speed to lead because we don't have enough reps on the actual phone or they're busy doing something else. So this ensures that every single lead gets touched every single time. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set this up. The first thing we're going to do is navigate over to Close. And as of, I believe, yesterday, you should have access to Chloe right here on the left-hand side. Now, it has been in beta for a while. We've been doing some testing and we've been seeing some really, really cool stuff. So when we click on Chloe on this left-hand side, you can click on a new agent right here, and then you can click Talk to Chloe, okay? And then it's going to connect. It's going to take a
I'm
moment.
Chloe, an AI sales teammate. I'm here to help you scale your outgoing calls. Are you ready to get started?
Yes, I'm ready to get started.
Great. Here's what I do. I engage leads, book meetings, log everything instantly. I qualify, discover, or follow up 24/7. I never drop a lead. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Here's how this works. We complete this setup call. Then you run a test call to hear me in action. Once happy, you configure skills like calendar links and deploy your lead list. Make sense?
Yes, makes sense.
Please tell me a little about your business. What do you do and how can I help?
Yeah, so we have a company called RevPilot. We are a CRM implementation and revenue operations agency. We focus specifically on building and engineering the best sales systems around with a principles first approach.
Got it. So you're helping companies build better sales systems from the ground up. Who should I be calling and why? Perfect. So you've got multiple inbound funnels feeding leads, pre call follow ups, post call no shows, direct bookings, and your CRM blueprint buyers. These are all warm prospects you've already touched. Walk me through the questions you want me to ask on a call with these low ticket buyers. Why each one? Be detailed. I like that. Help me understand if they tell you their show rate is low, but their close rate is actually strong, how do you know if they're a fit for your low ticket offering versus needing a full implementation? To get to the next screen, you must hang up this call now. Once you disconnect, you can initiate the test call on the next screen. I'm standing by. Just hit the end call button so we can move to the next screen.
Okay, and just like that, we have our agent mostly set up. So they make it extremely easy to literally have a conversation with it and set it up, which is one of the best onboarding experiences I've ever seen for an AI agent. So let's go into go to the test call, and we'll see exactly how it functions.
Hello, this is Chloe calling from RevPilot. Is this Jordan?
Yes, this is Jordan speaking.
Great, thanks for picking up. I'm calling because you've engaged with RevPilot, and I'd love to understand where your sales system might be holding back revenue. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Not a bad time, but not a great time.
I hear you. I'll keep this quick. By the way, just so you know, I'm an AI voice agent and this call is being recorded. I'm reaching out because you've engaged with RevPilot, and I'd love to understand where your sales system might be holding back revenue. This is what we do. We've built and audited hundreds of sales systems, so we tend to see blind spots others miss. Do you have a few minutes to chat?
Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks for making the time. Let me start with the basics. What marketing channels are you currently using to generate leads?
We run Facebook ads.
Got it, Facebook ads. How many leads came in last month from those ads?
About 1,000.
Okay, 1,000 leads last month. Out of those 1,000, how many actually showed up for calls?
About 500 of them.
So you're at about a 50% show rate. That's solid. Of the 500 who showed up, how many turned into customers?
Sorry, no, that's 1,000 leads. Out of that, we had 500 booked calls. Out of the 500 booked calls, we had a 75% show rate.
Got it. Thanks for clarifying. So 1,000 leads, 500 booked calls, and 75% of those showed up. That's about 375 actual calls. Of those 375 people who showed up, how many became customers?
Um, about 100 of them.
So about 100 customers from 375 calls. That's roughly a 27% close rate. What's your current annual revenue?
Yeah, we're doing about 2.5 million per year right now.
Nice. 2.5 million. What's the average value of a deal for you?
About $18,000.
Okay, $18,000 average deal. So here's what I'm seeing. You're generating solid volume and closing at a decent rate, but there's real opportunity here. With your metrics, you could be doing significantly more. Where do you feel things aren't working the way they should? What could be optimized?
Yeah, I feel like my team just doesn't follow up with leads how they should be following up with them.
That makes sense. So the follow up process is breaking down, leads are coming in, but your team isn't staying consistent with them. Why do you think that's happening? Is it a process issue, visibility issue, or something else?
It's a little bit of a training issue, a process issue, a system issue, a sales rep adoption issue. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's really common. When follow up breaks down, it's usually a mix of those things. The good news is that's exactly what we solve. We build sales systems inside your CRM that enforce process, automate follow up, and make it so your reps actually adopt it because it makes their job easier, not harder. A real discovery call is where we dig into your specific setup and show you exactly where the leverage points are. Does that sound like something worth exploring?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. Let me get you scheduled for a discovery call with the team. What does your availability look like this week or next? I've got a few options for you. How about 9 a.m. Wednesday, April 22nd?
Yeah,
Yep.
perfect.
Perfect. Let me get that booked for you. Excellent. You're all set for 9 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday, April 22nd. The team will send you a calendar invite with the details. During that call, we'll dig into your CRM setup, audit your follow up process, and show you exactly where you can tighten things up to get more revenue out of the leads you're already generating. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Perfect. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat, Jordan. I'm excited for the team to work with you on this. Have a great day.
Awesome. So just like that, we had our test call. I would say that it's very, very good. If you noticed, it was actually able to do the math of that conversation, right? So it knew what the close rate was automatically. It corrected itself and it knew what the show rate was. So very, very, very good. Let's go ahead and click to give feedback here. We can see booked meeting, create event, share any feedback with the AI agent, tone, response, behavior. I'm not going to do anything right here, right now. I would say it was more than good enough for this use case right now. So let's go ahead and click review skills. Now, if you do chat here, it's going to update it and then you can just retest the call. So then we got to do book meeting. So we want to set up this right here. Now, when we click this, we are able to add our actual meeting. We do have to make sure our calendar is connected, but we can see calendar source, specific users, or a group. Now, you can even assign a user in a specific custom field. So you have like closer lead owner or setter lead owner. You can choose that. And then you can choose the actual user group. So for example, if I want to do assign a user in a custom field, I can do setter lead owner, and then I can do Jacoby. Okay. So, and then we can choose what duration we actually want that to be, the meeting type, the meeting name, and then the meeting description. And then we'll just click done. So let's go ahead and select Jordan. Let's go back to lead owner. Actually, let's go back to specific users. We're going to do Jordan. And I don't know if it's going to let me because I don't have my calendar set up right now. Let's go ahead and open that in a new tab and see if it will let me set this up. Jordan at revpilot.com. We're going to do Pacific time. Perfect. And then you can see minimum notice, buffer between meetings, video conferencing preferences. So we want to make sure at least 4 hours before the meeting, buffer between none, and a video conference preference. We're going to do Zoom, just like that. And then hit save in the top right-hand corner. And then we should be able to select this now. We might have to refresh, but let's see if it'll let me get away with this. Oh, not mean to do that. Yeah, so it's not gonna let me. So let's just skip for now. Make sure you set up your calendar first. Otherwise, you're gonna have to refresh that. I'm scared if I refresh it, it's gonna exit our onboarding. So we're just gonna do this. And then we're gonna do select a phone number. If you don't have a phone number, you just go to settings, phone, and then you can purchase a phone number. I'll actually show you exactly how to do that real quick. So settings, phone, and then you just click new number. Okay. Next up, send as email address. That looks good. So complete setup. We're gonna go ahead and click right there. And just like that, we have our first agent created. Okay. So really, really cool. We can see the actual calls that it's done. We can see the performance. I'll show you what that looks like on some live calls here in a moment. I just had my alarm go off. And then we have this over here. So when we look at the agent overview, we can see summary, instructions, skills, knowledge, settings, and test variables. The test variables are for testing. So you just pop those in there. And when you do the test call, it'll actually use that information. Instructions, it's going to pre-build your instructions right here. Now, one hack is you can take these instructions and then put them into something like Claude Opus 4.7 that was just released a couple days ago, and improve that script. You can really tighten it up, make it as good as you want it to be. But Close does a fantastic job without you even having to leave the platform, okay? Now, we can see here, we do have a transfer call option. We have alert users, and then we have send scheduling link. So we can toggle these on if we want for live transfers. If you click settings right here, you can select who it's going to transfer to and what user group, okay? So really, really cool that we have the skills automatically built in. We also have knowledge. So we can add our website, as you can see right here. And we can add other resources. So we can text any or paste any text or add a URL or website that has the company details. Okay. And then we have right here the company details. So we can see that it pulled this automatically, but we can always go ahead and change this. Please note there is a max of 2,000 characters right there. And then we can select this. So it'll be able to search that actual knowledge base. And then we can click on settings. Now, settings, we can see the name of the actual Chloe right here. So we're going to do Chloe test dash YouTube. And then we have the group number. We can see Chloe callback. We can see the voice message right here. We can set what kind of playbook we want. So we can see qualified dash next step, and then we can add actual outcomes from our outcomes inside of Close CRM. We have the summary guidance, and then we have custom fields. Okay. So really, really easy to get started. I would not overcomplicate this when you are doing this the first time, okay? Now, all you have to do is click publish right here. One other thing I want to show you is use in a workflow. So we can actually do post call actions. So update leads, send follow-ups, trigger actions based on call outcomes, or we can do Chloe calling. So choose which leads Chloe calls automatically and how our outreach is enabled. So we can click next right there. How many times should Chloe try calling? I'm going to say 3 times. We can add additional instructions and then we can click create. What I recommend doing, instead of using these 2 options here, I would just click start from scratch. And when you hit start from scratch, it's going to open up your actual workflow section. And then you can trigger based on anything that you want, right? So let's just do trigger manually for now. We're going to click done, and then we're going to add a step. And you're actually going to see, if you select call, we can select Chloe directly inside of here. So we can see in here, assign to Chloe. And then we can have the agent. We get to select our actual agent, and then we can then run Chloe there. So basically this trigger would be a call completed activity or an opt-in where there's a new activity. If you've seen our other videos of how we use custom activities, you can trigger it all in that, but it is embedded directly inside of the actual workflow section. So it is really, really cool. Now, so you can see other use cases here, we're going to discard changes on that. And then we're going to come into lead qualification B3. And this is one that we've been testing for quite some time now. If we come into instructions, you can see all the instructions inside of here. So same thing, we have the skills set up on here. We have our knowledge base, just like you see in the other one. Now, the difference I wanted to show you here is if we go to calls, we can see that we have 68 calls, 20 people picked up, so 29% answer rate. We left 46 voicemails and we had 1 error. Now, the best part is you can see exactly who was called and what actually happened. And then you can see the disposition. So you can see this actually answered, and then we can see the duration. So we could see answered, but it was 15 seconds. So let's go ahead and find one where it actually had a conversation. We might be able to find one in these leads. I don't know if we do have one here, but you can obviously see how easy it is to open this and go through there. You can sort by the different outcomes and dispositions. And then we do have performance right here. So the performance tab is going to show you, let's go this year. We can see total calls, unique leads. We can see the outcomes of each. We can see the sentiment on these, the call progression, etc. So an absolutely incredible feature to have native inside of your CRM. And it is right up there with all of the other voice agents that I have actually tested, but it simplifies things 10 times 10 times over. So the beauty of this is the fact that you guys can go set this up inside of your CRM today without external tools, without hiring an outside team and a bunch of technical things that you need to set up. Now, there is going to be a difference of how good those prompts are and etc. So if you need assistance setting up Chloe, or you want your entire account audited and to identify what things are actually slipping through the cracks, feel free to schedule a time with me or someone on my team. We're happy to take a look in your account. We've done well over 200 Close CRM builds, and we will continue to do so. So I hope this video is helpful. Check out the other videos on the channel for Close CRM, all things Close CRM, and we'll see you on the other side.